Welcome back, gamers. Lazy Gamer here, and we are going to continue to play Secret Files 1. What was I doing? Yeah. Um, just made that man go to the loo, didn't I? No, didn't.
Dr. Lesniak, in an extremely good mood. Hello. Are the good mood and the ability to concentrate back in gear?
Yep, I'm doing much better. I know that this obsession with bread and jam doesn't exactly speak well for a reputable scientist. It's just one of my quirks. I simply need it now and then.
Yeah, it's okay. We all have our weaknesses. Also, when some have a huge screw loose. What exactly do you do here?
We are studying the regenerative capabilities of certain plants.
Sounds very interesting.
I don't know.
How does that work?
The study?
Yes.
We'll both be old and gray by the time I've explained it. Please don't misunderstand me. I don't think you are stupid. But you can't explain it in 5 minutes.
No, that's fine. You're probably right. Would it disturb you very much if I watched you working? I find all of that absolutely fascinating. I also promise not to ask too many stupid questions and not to interrupt.
All right, but don't touch anything. And if you have any questions, I'm sure Alexei will be happy to explain it to you.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Are you the only scientists on board this train?
No, not as far as I know. Apparently, there are a few on board, but the compartments are separated from one another, and the doors
Wonder
are
why.
being guarded by soldiers. That's too bad. It would have been interesting to discuss research results among yourselves. Well, hopefully, we'll have enough time for that later.
You have no idea which of your other colleagues are on the train?
No. The only person who has a complete list of the scientists and scientific researchers is Professor Sidorkin.
I'll have to get my hands on this list. Then I'll know for sure if Dad is on the train or not, and exactly where I can find him.
Bing.
Who is this Sidorkin?
Professor Sidorkin? He is my direct superior and the scientific director of the biologists. You don't know him? He's an absolute genius in his field. There's hardly anyone who knows more than he does in the field of molecular biology.
Oh, that must have passed me by. Do you think I could talk with him for a moment?
He's right next door. But if I were you, I wouldn't bother him right now. He's under a lot of stress and he's extremely irritable. And when I say extremely irritable, I mean even more irritable than me when I have to go 2 weeks without bread and jam.
Wow, that bad. Then I'll be careful. Why is he so irritable?
There are a few problems, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. I have to go back to work now. You'll excuse me. I'm not feeling so well. I must have swallowed the jam and bread a little too quickly. Alexei, please continue working here and tell Sidorkin as soon as you have the right result. I've got to go somewhere. Fast.
All right.
Very
As
fast.
it seems like it was before, I need to exhaust any uh, speak options available before any events get triggered like that. Can we? Uh, let's argue with Sidorkin, shall we?
The door is secured with a huge
Yeah.
padlock. Locked.
Yeah?
Excuse the interruption. Can I speak to you for a moment?
As long as Dr. Lesniak doesn't have a successful breakthrough in his experiments, no.
But
The train can blow up for all I care. I don't want to be disturbed.
it's really.
No!
Guess not. Blow up the train? That would never happen. This is a video game, not real life. Or was that backwards, perhaps? Oh well. Does he have anything more
Scientific assistant.
to add?
Phew, that was close. I have only just saved humanity from the terrible Dr. Jekyll.
Oh, thank you very much. Working with him is now so much more relaxed. I owe you one. So if you have any questions, I unfortunately can't tell you everything. I hope you understand that.
Of course. I'm happy that I can see your work at all. A soldier who interests herself for science. That's not a daily occurrence, is it?
No, and certainly
Oh
not
my.
someone as pretty as you.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see.
What you're doing here looks incredibly complicated.
Really? It's actually quite simple. These plant samples were exposed to radiation that is very similar to the radiation in the Tunguska region. At first, the doses were kept rather low, and were then continually increased. I exposed the samples in that device over there to a flame with a constant temperature, and see what remains from the plant.
You burn plants?
Yes, you could say that. We are trying to determine which dosage of radiation no longer leads to the complete deterioration of the cell structure.
Wow, I even understood that.
Well, I deliberately left out
Oh my.
two-thirds of the explanations.
Wonderful. Once in my life, I'm proud of my scientific abilities, and you blow the whole illusion apart.
I'm sorry.
What the?
What exactly will you be doing at our destination?
You mean in the research station?
Yes, exactly. There. Scientific assistants also seem to be easy to question on an international level. So, it has to do with the research station. Maybe I can squeeze an odd secret or two out of him. What exactly is your task at the station?
Unfortunately, I can't tell you that. Otherwise, the station wouldn't be a secret.
So, it's secret, is it? Very good. Come on, boy, tell me more. Yes, I understand. But perhaps you can tell me something which isn't quite so secret. I have unfortunately little idea about biology and chemistry, but it certainly is fascinating, isn't it?
I can only talk about what Dr. Lesniak and I are supposed to be doing there.
Sure.
A long time ago, they discovered that the plants in the region exhibit abnormal plant growth. It isn't a secret. It was all over the newspapers.
Yes, of course.
And now we are trying to influence this growth in a controlled manner.
Fascinating. And what is the goal?
Unfortunately, I can't say. But imagine if we could arbitrarily manipulate the growth of plants. That would solve the problem of
Oh my.
world hunger in one fell swoop.
Wow, that really does sound like a huge goal.
Indeed.
And?
What I wanted to ask you was...
Just a minute. If you can pester me with questions, then I can too.
Oh, yes, of course.
It's nothing personal. So, why have so many soldiers been brought into a prohibited zone?
Prohibited zone?
Yes, in the research station and everything. I mean, with the materials and all the people here, you could wage a small war.
Yes, well, I'm not allowed to talk about that. You scientists have your instructions, and unfortunately, we have ours.
Ah, I understand. I willingly tell you everything about our experiments, and I have one little question
Don't
and
be
get
so
an answer like that.
smiley.
I'm sorry. I would love to tell you everything I know, but that is very little anyway. It's nothing personal, but what I do know is top secret.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, that's that, I suppose.
I'll be off then.
Okay, see you later.
Need to distract the guy. Let's see. I need to go back to the kitchen if I can. Let's take some water.
Not much water goes into the bottle, but it's better than nothing. It's full of normal drinking water.
Normal drinking water. On a train? Oh, if you say so.
I have no idea what one can do with that thing.
It's an incinerator.
I paid a bit of attention in physics, and I know that electricity comes out of there.
That's high science, lady. Well done.
A little liquid should be enough. It would look a little suspect if everything here were underwater.
Damn, why do the fuses have to choose to blow now? I have to go replace the fuses. Could you watch to make sure no one touches anything?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks.
I'll take very special care that nobody touches a thing in here, apart from my good self. One of the samples that gets analyzed
Mine.
here.
I take. Open.
I'll take the sample out of the glass.
And we put some more samples into. Don't we? I have to take it first.
I'll take the sample out of the
Fine.
glass. What am I going to do with it? I'll just put one inside the other. I can't think of anything else spontaneously.
More plant sap. And we put that back. We need to talk. I don't need to talk to Sidorkin, but I need to see that file in his lab or room, whatever it is.
So hopefully the fuse doesn't blow on me again right away. And in the meantime, I really doubt if I will ever get any surprising results here. What? That can't be! Really? The sample didn't burn up completely? You can see that with the naked eye. I don't even need to do an analysis. I have to tell Dr. Lesniak, and maybe even Professor Sidorkin. This could actually be the big breakthrough. And I had almost stopped believing it would ever happen.
And you are absolutely sure that all the test conditions were controlled and complied with?
I always took random samples and rechecked everything. And I would put my hand into the fire to confirm Alexei's competence. I've worked with him for many years now.
So you perform the experiments.
His
Did you notice
competence is
anything
the
different?
question, is it?
What kind of difference?
We have to check everything exactly. If the results are correct, it's a sensation. But if we register it as a sensation, and we've made a mistake,
I
the
want
most
to
we'll get
tell
afterward is a job in a natural history
what I
museum.
did, but
So go through everything again slowly. We should look at the analysis together.
I only hope that we didn't miss anything. If the result is really correct, we'll go down in history.
The gentlemen are certainly very enthusiastic about their discovery. I should use this chance to have a look around Sidorkin's
probably.
office. There won't be much time until this Sidorkin comes back. I'll have a look around his desk first. Maybe I'll find the passenger list at least.
Let's see.
The documents are entitled Security Risks and Acute Threats to the Tunguska Project. I'll have a look at that, please.
I'm not a
If
threat,
I
am I?
understand this correctly, in the last few years, several attacks have been carried out on official and secret research facilities. Documents were partly destroyed, but the culprits also do not seem to shy away from bomb attacks and arson either. Eyewitnesses report seeing men in black robes. It has not been possible for the authorities to capture any of the perpetrators. Then the Secret Service FSB was entrusted with this matter, but has not been able to produce any solid results in their investigations. The assumption that this is the work of political terrorists could not be confirmed. That the attacks are being carried out by a religiously motivated sect is also being considered. I wonder if they are the same men in black robes that Eddie apparently saw and was babbling about. If all that's true, then Daddy has got bigger problems than I feared. Tunguska Project. Error analysis is written on these files. 2000 to 2003 at the top, and at the bottom it begins with 2004. There's not very much I can do with these in the time I have. It's huge! That's not normal. That must be genetically engineered. The drawer is secured with a very simple, but unfortunately, a very effective lock. The piece of paper reads, "Place all documents in the safe each time you leave the room. Signed, W.I.L." If this safe has the employee list in it, then I should have a better look around here. Maybe I can find out exactly what is going on in Tunguska, and what Daddy's got to do with it.
Oh no.
I thought so. The little toad is a snoop. I noticed you in Moscow at the train station, and not in a good way. Toads remain toads, even when they are wearing clothes. But don't worry, we're going to take care of you now.
What is Kansky doing here in the middle of the night? Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a really bad feeling about him. I should definitely make sure he doesn't catch me. He probably hasn't forgotten the big bump on the back of his head yet. Finally, an answer to my question. I'm curious to see what my Irish colleague has found out.
Hi, Max. It took a little while, but the information you wanted wasn't so easy to get. It was a good thing you sent me the original letter. But I'll tell you more later. For starters, let's talk about the Irish company on the letterhead. This company used to belong to a man named Ken Morangi, and had something to do with plant fertilizer. The company was suddenly closed down, even though business was going pretty good. I unfortunately couldn't find out anything more about it either. Since then, Morangi lives like a hermit on a small island on the coast of Ireland. I've attached a map along with the mail. But now to an even more interesting story. I took a closer look at the letter you sent me. It isn't as empty as it looks at first glance. It apparently uses some kind of invisible ink. Not very imaginative, but it's apparently sufficient enough for people like you. Here are the contents of the letter. I hope you can understand it. Hello, Vladimir. Receive the documents. Copy is underway. We still have to settle the question of the handover. Ken, P.S. The whiskey is still waiting.
Wow, that sure does sound mysterious. Maybe this Morangi knows something that could help us. I'd better tell Nina. I wonder what she's doing right now. Hopefully she's doing okay. I'm really worried about her.
Well, I'm in prison, don't I?
It is not my day today. First I sit with a bowel-sick psychopath in a train compartment, and now with a rabid dog. I've got to get out of here again quickly. As soon as we reach the next bigger village, they want to hand me over to the authorities. That would be the end of my search, and probably the end of me.
They took all my stuff. Well, how did they let me keep the bulb and the sample glass? Perhaps it wasn't threatening.
There's a cuddly little lapdog in there playing with his little bone. Isn't he cute? A piece of bone.
Mine?
Before I get to that bone, the dog will be gnawing on mine.
Yeah. Probably true.
There are a lot of pieces of meat in the box.
Mine.
I'll take myself a piece.
Now, if I just throw it in there, he'll eat it and be back there before I can take that piece of bone there. Let's confuse him a bit. Let's see him eat that, eh?
So, he should be busy for a while.
It's a bit sad, really. Bone is mine.
I'll take myself a piece.
Poor guy.
A vacuum cleaner hose. Long, flexible, and boring.
Also mine. Oh.
I can't open the flap. It's stuck. Oh, brother. There must be harder things to do. A metal pipe.
Let's flip that open, right? Flick the flap.
If I stick the flat side in the flap and then lever it open.
Inside.
There is a vacuum cleaner bag in there. I'll take it out.
What's inside that, eh?
Do I have to rummage around in that? Yes, I suppose I probably do.
Well, you rummage in garbage and picked up rubble. So I guess the vacuum cleaner bag isn't far down that alley.
A tuft of hair from, an animal.
Inclusive.
A hairpin. Model number 08/15.
I don't want to use it in my hair.
According to the top display, the temperature is 54 degrees Fahrenheit. The lower display shows a humidity of 28%.
Yeah. Oh well.
Above this hatch, freedom must be
Let's get up
endless.
there.
Hopefully no one heard that. Otherwise, my problems are about to increase.
I didn't.
No visible effects.
Ah,
It shows when and how much the dog is to be fed every day.
well, I didn't overfeed him, did I?
The animal is trying like crazy to get that meat in the glass. It may be more dangerous than a normal dog, but surely it's not more intelligent. So, that pipe will never escape from me again.
Let's see.
I could get onto the roof that way, as long as I don't slash an artery on those broken bits of glass.
You can't die, Nina. You're a computer character. Or game character. Something on those lines.
I can't see in there from here.
Guys, don't do this at home.
I presume this belongs to an air conditioning unit.
So I should say, you probably don't have big trains at home, do you?
I can't see in there from here. I can't.
Let's climb down and see. Oh,
The window is closed and I am not going to be able to open it from the outside.
we left.